winter break looming, it is time for the final exam. You're watching highlights from the state playoffs of PIEA Rocket League. We start the quarterfinals with Garnet Valley facing off against Manheim Township White. Sky was a major cog in the Jags offense throughout the regular season, and the playoffs would prove the same early, as this sidewall control would net a hat trick in Game 1. Team play would open up shooting lanes in Game 2 as Gum God's front-end demo would keep the Sky clear for a double tap. E-Man would keep the momentum rolling in Game 3 and follow possession through the corner for this tight angle goal. And this one would end in a sweep as transitions from the Jaguars would prove too strong for the Streaks to handle. Match 2 would pair 4th and 5th seeds Bishop McDevitt and Avonworth High. Game 1 would live up to the seeding as it would require OT, but a double commit would give Zephyrus a full pitch open net to secure game number 1. Game 2 and more mistakes from McDevitt, as this time I Am a Kiwi would find opportunity in the midfield for a 3-1 win. It wasn't all Antelope though, as this quick cut and strike by Swizzy would help a 2-0 clapback. But I Am a Kiwi would prove too strong, as both this angle off the hesitation in game number 4, as well as some brilliant physical plays to clear out the defense in game number 5 would secure the victory for the Antelope. Series score 4-1. Match number 3 would see 14th seed Pencrest going against the 6th seed Manheim Township Blue. The Streaks were out to prove early in game 1 that the competitive pin division had honed them, and Robo would take advantage of this opportunity. Just as close was game number 2. Angry would find the lone goal through the crowd to tie the series at 1-1. In game number 3, teams would stretch their scoring legs after single goal decisions in games 1 and 2. Barter would put in the game winner on a 7-2 victory. There would be no reigning Barter in for game number 4, as Detroit would provide the perfect pop for another game winner. And this series would end in 5 with a little bit of Detroit aerial flair. The final match of the quarters would be a battle of the Trojans, North Catholic and Chambersburg Blue. Flame Fox would start North Catholic's title defense off strong with this power-through shot from the slot. Game 1, 5-1. Flame Fox would continue to be in perfect positioning as this setup in the box would prove to be a game winner. The champs would keep the pressure on in Game 3, where Aurelian would get their share of a 4-1 victory. And Messi would find a way to bend the ball to his will en route to a 4-0 series sweep. 8-4 means there's more in store. You're watching the semifinal highlights of PIEA State Championships. The first semifinal would feature 1st seed Garnet Valley Jaguars against the 4th seed Avonworth Antelope. Game 1 started the series overtime hot, but Gum God would navigate the perfect pass to Sky to pull out the 3-2 win. Game number 2 would require overtime, where Zephyrus' defensive wall would pitch to victory 12 seconds in. The Jags did not appreciate their first game loss of the entire season, and Sky would take charge of Game 3 with this controlled double tap. Game 4 and loose ball shots from the midfield would not go unpunished. This one from E-Money, who exhibited perfect placement. And Garnet Valley would punch their ticket in Game 5, outscoring Avonworth 13-3 in the last 3 games of the series. Semi-final number 2 was a bout between Manheim Township Blue and defending champs North Catholic. The Blue Streaks would come out strong in Game 1, scoring 3 total goals and bumping the defense whenever possible. Game 1, Mannheim Township. The Trojans would clap back in game number 2, and Messi would do what he does best with this three-quarter pitch double tap. Overtime, game number 3 would require a Fox's finesse to beat a very stout defense. But Barter would answer back in game 4, as well as in game 5, to put the defending champs on the ropes? The Trojans would resort to team play in game 6, as Messi would find Flame Fox to get us a decisive game number 7. And North Catholic would survive, scoring the last 6 goals of the series to make the PIEA championship. Will defending champions reign true, or will the upstart newcomer look to start a dynasty of their own? This is the PIEA State Championship! Undefeated number 1 seed Garnet Valley would fight to the finish with defending champion North Catholic Scarlet. This one promised to be competitive, and overtime in game 1 did not disappoint as E-Money placed themselves precisely for the victory. Game 2 and Messi would strike, bombing the ball from midfield to even the series at 1. Messi would continue to exude control, securing game 3 from long distance, as well as the series advantage. The Trojans' pressure would continue to mount from the defensive zone, as this clear from Flame Fox would set up Messi with a quick transition and a chance for match point. And Mark II Messi would be involved in all but 2 of the Trojans' 15 goals as North Catholic would secure back-to-back state championships.
It's time for the best part of the year. Playoffs are here. Let's see how it all went down. In our first quarterfinal matchup, the number 1 seed Mannheim Township took on Garnet Valley High School in a grudge match from last season. Nepal was up first, and Victoria Rose came clutch with a self-destruct 3K to close out map 1. On to Kings Row, and the ults kept flying, with Widow Only and Victoria Rose comboing for the team wipe, with the Graviton Surge and Meteor Strike. Doomfist would then go on to clean up to make sure map number 2 would go to them. On to map 3, and with a chance to close out the series, Mannheim Township didn't blink. Judge stepping in for the last map with the cleanup crew on Wrecking Ball as the team would move on to the semifinals. In our second quarterfinal match, LaSalle College and Bishop McDevitt would square off in a battle of the Gold Squads to see who would reign supreme. Wet Napkin showed poise and timing as the Rip Tire in the middle of the opponent caught everyone off guard, allowing LaSalle College to close out Nepal with ease. On to Kings Row, and Wet Napkin again stepped up to the plate, this time earning the Nano Boost to combo with a Dragon Blade, allowing LaSalle College to race through map number 2, putting themselves at match point. As Junkertown wound down, Tropics came through in a big way, as the Cassidy player took names with their eliminations, and the hold would come in, LaSalle College moving on with a 3-0 shutout. Susquehanna Township Red and Chambersburg Area High School featured in our third quarterfinal match, and ChanceFan 127 would prove to be a one-person highlight reel as the Hitscan player made Ash sing in melee range. Even as Chambersburg Area tried to make a comeback, the entirety of the team would bring their ults to bear, including a cleanup tactical visor from Lil Big Ron, giving the hold on third, as Susquehanna would take the 2-0 series lead. On Junkertown, ChanceFan would be the hero as the Tracer wound up with 3 eliminations, eventually leading the team to a series victory. Our last quarterfinal series had North Catholic High School and Conrad Weiser High School take to the field of play. Bean Dealer, No Fear, stepped forward to dodge the shatter before laying down a big one of their own as Conrad Weiser would take the initial series lead. Eichenwald would be a close affair, but Sinfaster made sure it was the only a thought as Riptire shut down North Catholic's capture attempt and put Conrad Weiser at match point. Junkertown up next, and with Chunky Boys using the tactical visor on the flank, Conrad Weiser would cement their shutout to move on to the semis. Our semifinal matches all took place at LAN, and Mannheim Township were looking to make a return to the finals that they had last season, with LaSalle College trying to get there for the first time. A smart opening gambit from Mannheim Township to bring out the Farah, as there was very little resistance from LaSalle College's composition, and Widow only made the most of it as their DPS players set up the eventual team wipe for Map 1. On to Eichenwald next. Confidence speaks volumes, and Aiden was not lacking for it in the slightest. Only needing to really get past the first checkpoint, the Ryan player charged the objective before laying down the shatter to cement control of the series with a 2-0 lead. All it takes for a grand finals berth was one more map win, and Mannheim Township delivered, a stellar defensive setup on Dorado, earning them the victory. We now await our second grand finalist in Susquehanna Township Red, and Conrad Weiser vied for position to see who would make it. Nepal up first, and while you don't expect an Orisa on the flank, Zeitz made it work, as the Supercharger and Primary Fire gave Map 1 over to Susquehanna. Not to be outdone by their tank partner, Synthix would respond with a big Graviton Surge, assisted by a well-timed Biotic Grenade as Susquehanna claimed Map 2. Tanks for Susquehanna were on fire this match, and Zeet slammed home the series with a shatter on Havana as they moved on to the grand finals with a 3-0 win. It all comes down to this, the grand finals for the Overwatch season. Both teams would take to the stage to try and earn victory. Mannheim Township, runners-up last season, attempting to close out the victory. Susquehanna trying to take it away. In the final moments of Nepal, a desperate Mannheim Township attempted to keep overtime at bay, but Lil Big Ron shut it down as a tactical advisor cleaned up Map 1 of our best of 5. Kings Row would prove to be a hotly contested affair, but eventually Synthix would get a shutdown self-destruct and call mech to put Susquehanna Township at match point. The streak of 3-0 scorelines in the playoffs needed to be broken if Mannheim Township wanted to return the series, as a reverse sweep had to be pulled off. As time on Dorado dwindled away though, it was not to be, and Susquehanna would complete the shutout, cementing themselves as your 2021 PIEA Overwatch champions.